Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group will be present about the topic of ethical leadership. My name is Sabrina Natasha binti Isa. I'm going to present about the definition and the concept of ethical leadership. According to Brown, ethical leadership can be defined as a person with principle of conduct that set an example for followers. It is also can be described as the power to motivate the followers through personal and ethical behavior. Brown defined ethical leadership as the ability or power to instill ethically acceptable behavior through personal acts and motivate followers to emulate such behavior through two-way communication, reinforcement, and ethical decision making. One of the most crucial traits of an ethical leader is being conscientious. It means ethical leader should possess strong moral identity. The ability to consider ethics and behave in moral way is something that comes from the inside of the person. As a leader, they need to truly thinking and more cautious on their actions. Next, ethical leaders are inclusive. Ethical leaders should totally open for any ideas and always urge their workers to voice out their own opinion in the organization. It requires understandings as ethical leaders will handling workers from all sorts of backgrounds. Thus, it requires acceptance from the leader from the people with different opinions. Ethical leadership are very important because these people have selected to be their representative to communicate societal concerns to a higher level and granted them with power to enact law as well as implementing them. There are also be role models and displaying such ethical behavior to be followed by the employees. That's all from me.
There are many issues regarding ethical leadership in the public administration, and the first one that can be seen is the abuse of power by leaders. Abuse of power is the misuse of power by authority in dealing with personal interests that could give negative impact on its employees and the company. Most leaders can freely abuse their power because they are at the top of the company's hierarchy and is not observed or held accountable by anyone. The next issue that can be seen is absentee leadership, where people who hold leadership positions are not fully engaged in the role, mostly because the company employs the wrong person who is not capable and not qualified to fill in managerial positions. When this happens, the team led by the leader will suffer from lack of guidance as well as misdirection. This leader is unable to help the employees grow, learn from their mistakes, and provide suggestions for improvement. The last issue that can be seen is the lack of empathy as a personal trait of the leaders. Leaders who lack empathy or have faced empathy erosion due to massive will to achieve goals and increased level of stress at work will focus more on personal interests and would not mind oppressing others to achieve their goals and own benefits. This eventually leads to more unethical leadership behaviors such as irresponsible, unfair, disrespectful, and dishonest because these leaders cannot empathize with other people and only concern about themselves.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Hello, my name is Nur Farhana and I will be presenting the implications of the ethical leadership. So from the issue, the implication that we managed to find is high turnover of employee, job dissatisfaction, and even worse, corruption. So the firstly is high turnover of employee because of the abuse of power. So in a study conducted by Florida State University, yes, indeed, employees leave their companies, but they actually leave their bosses. Statistics mention that 39% of the employees leave their bosses because they fail to keep their promise, which is one of the way of abusing their power. So having a bad leader leads to miserable feeling, and the misery of this feeling will follow them to their daily activities. This will somehow affecting their overall daily activities, and the employee fail to cope with the stress created by their leaders. So this situation will highly contributed to the employee turnover. Moving on to the next implication would be from the issue of absentee leadership that would lead to job dissatisfaction. So research shows that being ignored by leader is more alienating than being treated properly. So on the issues of ethical leadership, we did mention that employees' complaint on the leadership behavior are the highest, especially complaint stemming from the absentee leadership. So the highest percentage out of all these are the leaders are not recognizing employees' achievement at 62%. So when the leaders are failed to properly give specific recognition for achievement or guideline, they likely develop uninterested feeling, and they just go through their work life without motivation and feedback from the employee, which will lead to job dissatisfaction within the employees.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Anizahra binti Ibrahim, and I'm going to continue the presentation on implication of ethical leadership. The last implication are increasing number of corruption among leaders due to the issue lack of empathy. Leaders involved in corruption to get more benefits because they are more focused on personal interests or simply just being selfish. In 2014, a survey conducted by Malaysian Corruption Barometer concluded that political parties, police and civil servants are the most corrupt bodies, and this shown to public that they are not the leaders who has integrity because they are being selected and has power to serve people. Cases of corruption that lead to breach of duty, breach of trust of people to government can be seen on 14th general election, where public decide to cast voters to Barisan Nasional due to cases on one MDB, where it is involved ministries and politicians. To conclude, implication has been bad effect to government, and this implication need to solve.
Hi, my name is Nona Binti Ahmed, and I will proceed with the recommendation. First, the solution to the issue of abuse of power by the leaders is by having a strong support system in the organization. The abuse of power can cause high employee turnover as well as harms the company's reputation. This situation often occurs when a victim feels they have no one to rely on. Strong support system in the organization can be creating to the employees so they do not feel isolated. Employees can complete anonymous survey to gauge whether the power is being misused in the company. Moreover, the employees must be assured that the investigation into abuse of power will be handled fairly and confidentially. The hearing should be fair and obtain proof as much as possible before make a decision. Thus, by having a strong support system in the organization, the abuse of power by the leaders can be overcome. Next, the best solution to overcome the issue of absentee leadership is by ensuring the company goals are clearly communicated at all levels of the organization, especially to leaders and managers. To achieve that, the ability to communicate well must be required by all good leaders so that they can interact with their team members. This can be done by regular meeting or company information session with the smaller groups. So leaders and managers can communicate well to their team and give them direction. The leaders will be no longer stay silent from others and can increase the productivity in the organization. Lastly, lack of empathy can be solved by being an active listener. A leader cannot give the employees everything they want, but leader can assure everyone in the team feels heard. Active listening is one of the best ways to demonstrate empathy in the organization, as it lets the other person know they have been understood. When people feel heard and respected, their trust in the organization will grow. The trust itself will enhance empathy as well as prevent the corruption happens among the leaders. Thus, by being an active listener, leader can improve their empathy. That's all for me. Thank you.